This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
And we're talking about superpowers that you might have.
Like Sam, who works with us, who is the milk detector. He can detect if milk's in something or not.
That's right. Can
And
tell
what
the
type
difference-
of milk it
Yeah,
is.
with a milk alternative as well.
What a strength.
Sean can turn big amounts of
things.
money into small amounts of money. Ta-da!
Oh, that's quite amazing.
Let's go over
Get
to
on board.
Oliver and Bayswater. Hey, Ollie.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah,
Good
good. All right, we're
Ollie.
talking about special abilities. Ollie, what's yours?
My special ability is that if I'm pouring drinks for anyone, then I can make sure that everyone's drink is level,
Oh.
so everyone has the same amount of alcohol. or
Oh,
water, whatever.
amazing
Are you
talent.
joking?
Like free pouring, Ollie.
Yes, pre-pouring.
Are you known for this, Ollie, famously?
My wife knows about it.
Oh. I
Well,
really
you
want
need to be
more people
celebrated
know.
more.
I
Yeah.
know. That's the saddest little statement. My wife knows about it.
Now we know about it too, Ollie.
Oh, Ollie.
We're so proud of you.
Ollie's always wanted the word to get out.
Now it has. Jemima, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Jemima.
Jemima.
Okay, talk to us. What's your particular superpower?
Okay, I can smell ants.
You can smell
Well,
ants.
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 Yep. So
Okay.
I could be sitting
They don't
working
smell.
peacefully and I get a whiff
Yep.
and I turn around and I sort of follow that whiff and it will lead me to, like, even if it's just a couple of ants in the corner, but I can smell them.
Okay,
you
because
can smell
ants do.
squashed ants.
Yes,
Yeah, you can smell
ants
quite-
do
yeah.
have a smell, but,
They do.
but usually when they're on mass or if they're squashed. So you
Yes.
can literally, you can catch the whiff of a single ant and then follow that ant back to more ants.
It sounds really weird,
No,
but yes.
it's amazing.
And it's really annoying because you smell them everywhere.
Yeah,
course you do.
don't come to my house. They're in there.
Yeah.
They've gotten in and I can't get rid of them.
We don't have ants at my place.
Well, we have them on the outside.
But then again, maybe I do. Maybe I need.
Maybe you need to
Yeah.
Maybe I need you to come over and
You
give
just
us a
don't
good
know
whiff.
about 'em.
Give-
That's right.
That's a
Never
good-
know.
That is a superpower.
Has it ever helped you out at all?
I wish. No. Probably
many-
more
do-
traumatise me.
Do many people know about your ant smelling abilities?
No, I tend to keep it on the down low.
You don't get invited to picnics to keep...
Well, and also, is this your real name? Because you should really keep your real identity a secret,
Yes.
just in case you know.
I mean, as if Jemima would be her real name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her real name's Hamble.
I sense a new business coming along.
Yes, that's right.
What?
And detecting.
Ant detective.
And why would I hire her?
Well, you just said about your apartment block, right? She comes,
Yes.
Jemima comes over.
Oh, right, to just see if
Yep.
I have ants or
Yes.
not.
Sniffs all around the place.
Yeah, and then so she's just going to come around and go, you don't have ants. That's $280 call out fee.
Exactly.
She brings an echidna with her, though, just in case there is some. We're talking about superpowers. I've realised what mine is.
Where's it now?
Is that no matter what dish I'm using, I can tear off the exact right size piece of baking paper.
That's exciting.
Just with it, I don't measure it. I just go, oh yeah, that's the big tray. Bang, bang. Exact fit. Every time.
That's good.
Every
That's
time.
I like that.
Thank you. Thank
Save
you.
thousands with that.
Yeah, I know.
Thousands of people. Belinda's in Eastwick Park. Hey, Belle.
Hey, how you
Hey,
going?
Good, Belinda.
Belinda, is this your special ability or someone that you know?
No, this is a special ability of a friend of mine, and we just realised it on the weekend, which was really exciting.
I'm excited. What is
Okay,
it? What
let us in.
happens?
So we were travelling around down Great Eastern Highway on Saturday morning, and we were stopped at the lights, and we saw two Shetland ponies had got out of their enclosure just near the Ascot sort of
Yes.
horsey area down there.
Yeah.
And they started running across Great Eastern Highway. So we were in the car and thinking, oh, my God, what are we going to do? There's traffic everywhere coming up and down Great Eastern Highway as it does. Anyway, we followed the ponies across the other side of the road, and my friend Chris got out of the car, and he said, I've got to help. So anyway, they went down, and anyway, the ponies turned around and darted back across Great Eastern Highway. And so then the chase was on, and they were running straight down Great Eastern Highway into oncoming traffic. So Chris had to go out into the middle of the road, wave down the traffic, and get all the traffic to stop so that the horses did get hit.
Yeah.
Yes.
They went onto one side of Great Eastern Highway, back across the other side, and Chris and the owner were able to corral the horses down to a side street. So there was a lot of people around by this stage,
Yeah.
and they were able to coax the little ponies down into an enclosed area where there was sort of like car park.
Yeah.
And so Chris and the owner had gone down. The Shetland ponies were down towards the end of the car park. And they were thinking, oh, my God, how are we going to get these little ponies?
Yes.
Anyway, Chris, as he got closer to them, put his hand out. And the ponies were so freaked out at this stage. But then it started creeping towards him. And he's talking to the pony and calming the pony.
Oh.
Anyway,
He's a horse
the pony
whisperer.
came over to him,
Yes.
lift his hand, and the owner was able to walk over, harness the pony, and save the day.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
Chris.
the Pony Whisperer.
Pony Whisperer.
The Pony
Pony
Whisperer.
Whisperer.
God, the amount of people he could save, the lives he could save. It would have been so funny right at the end of that entire story. You went, anyway, long story short, Chris has laser vision. Anyway, then Chris can fly.
The ponies lived happily ever after.
Pony Whisperer, that's good.
great, Belinda.
Thank you, Belinda. Jen's
you,
in
Belinda.
Thornley. Hello.
Hello, love you guys. Hi.
Yeah,
Jen, straight back at you,
Stop
Jen.
it. Okay. Have you got a special
Well,
power?
I have the same birthday as Sean, so it's okay.
Oh,
Yep.
nice, Jen. Good on you. An aquarium.
Yes, 9. Yes, we are. I tried to ring and wish happy birthday, but they wouldn't let me through. But anyway, happy
Oh,
birthday.
yeah,
No,
well,
it-
we don't agree
everybody
with
back.
wishing Sean a happy birthday.
We don't like congratulating him on things and stuff. He gets a big
Okay,
head.
fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair
yeah.
enough.
Do you have a special ability, Jen? Is it like Sean's
Well,
where he can
people-
lose a lot of money?
People tease me about the fact that I have this uncanny memory for number plates, for people's number plates on their cars. And
Yeah.
I've had it for many years, and people think that it's really weird, but for some reason, if I see a number plate, then I just remember it. And I was sitting in, I went to leave my daughter's house the other night, and I had her mother-in-law with me, and her car wouldn't start, and it was 11:15 at night. So he rang the RAC, and the guy said, what's your number plate? And she says, oh, I'll have to get out and have a look. And I went, no. And I gave her the number plate, and she goes, why would you know that? And I went, because I've seen it. Why would I not know
Are
it?
you joking?
This
That's
is a
amazing,
legit
Jen.
This is
superpower.
actually
Jen,
really
that is
good.
awesome.
And you could be an excellent witness to crime.
I could. And then, strangely enough, yesterday when we were at a luncheon yesterday, I don't know how the subject came up, and the guy who was having the birthday said, oh, yeah, Jen's got this thing about number plates. And he said, oh, do you remember the number plate of my white Commodore that I had 25 years ago? And I went, of course, why wouldn't I? And I told him the number plate. And everyone goes, well, that's stupid. And I went, well, I'm sorry. I can't help it. I just...
Someone went out of the way to say that's stupid.
That's not
I know,
stupid.
but I said, I can't help it. If I see it, I just remember it.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat, and Sean.
Look, Nathan and I realise we've made a rod for our own backs by refusing to watch anything with Jason Bateman in it because he hurt us once by being a terrible interview.
Yeah.
But so we know we're missing out on Ozark, and he won a SAG award yesterday, and we know it's a great show. Everybody keeps telling us, but we cannot watch it.
Marty
Because
Bird.
we are people of principles, and that's what we're talking to right now. Hello, Hayley.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Hayley.
All right, are you standing firm on something, Hayley?
Yeah, so I refuse to download TikTok because I feel like it's a young generation kind of thing. And I've said, no, I'm never getting it. I'm not getting involved. And then a lot of my friends have started getting it. And some of them, have children, that sort of thing. And they're like, oh, it's such a great tool. We get all of these tips from it. And I just refuse to download it. I'm like, no.
Hayley, there's so many hacks. You can learn how
There
to
are
make a
so
lovely
many
bolognese.
Yeah,
Not just that.
I've heard it all.
Yeah. And if you say if there's something cultural comes up, that the series Wednesday came out, all the girls are doing the Wednesday dance, and
Yes.
they're even really great to watch. I mean, it is.
I mean, the thing is, though, if
Yeah.
there's something that really hits the zeitgeist, then they report on it.
They do.
on news.com or somewhere like that, or it'll show up on Instagram. So you don't
Yeah.
have to. You can get
No,
by
you
without
can.
it.
You can.
Hayley,
It'll
my-
suck you into a deep hole, though, if you do get involved.
Hayley,
100%,
may I
Hayley.
ask you a question? How old are you?
Because you sound young.
I'm a millennial, so I suppose yes, I'm still a part of the younger generation, but I'm 30 this year.
You're not 100, Harry. Holy hell.
Harry, how old are
How old
you?
are you?
How old are you?
30.
And what are you on?
We put a couple hours into TikTok. So there's money to be made.
Sam, how old are you, Sam?
29.
And
29.
and TikTok?
TikTok?
Absolutely. All the best stuff's on there. And it's people who refuse TikTok are just watching the videos re-uploaded onto Instagram Reels
anyway, yes.
So, just
So
get
then,
the app.
but then why, if you're seeing it on Instagram, why do you
Seeing
need
it
TikTok?
late.
But if you're a
Right.
person of principle, you've got to stand by your decision.
And I stand by Hayley's decision.
Yep, good on you, Hayley. Shamim, hello.
Hi, how are you guys?
Great, Shamim. Okay,
Hi, Shamim.
talk to us. What have you got very firm principles about?
Anything Apple. I have a Samsung. I've had an Android.
Yeah.
And I refuse to have anything Apple in the house. My husband had to go from an Apple phone to a Samsung when we got married.
Yes.
No.
And even the kids, they have everything they need is Samsung. We don't even have Apple TV. We're not allowed to watch Apple TV.
Don't even have
So
apples in the house.
where did this originate from?
Because I got an Android phone when I first got a smartphone, and I thought Apple was way too expensive, and I just went for a Samsung.
Yes.
And then I got teased mercilessly by my cousins.
Yes.
And then it just was like, everyone was like, oh, Apple is so much better. And I went, no. And I just didn't. I was like, no. Everything now is Samsung, and it's just as good. Android is just as good.
You can't believe that,
still do
Shamim.
It's all good fun, Shamim, until somebody tries to airdrop you a photo and goes, oh.
And not just that,
No.
though, Matt. It's when so I mean, you would have been in this situation, right, where you've gone, excuse me, to someone, can you just take a photo? And they look at
Yes.
you, they look like you've handed them something from outer space.
Absolutely.
Because none of us know how to take a photo on a Samsung.
Absolutely, and it's the same thing when they give me an Apple phone to, like, I do a lot of signing on Apple phones, and
Yes.
when they want me to take photos, I look at them like, what have you just given me? So I do the same thing back to them.
Shamim, the interesting thing, so Apple's given Samsung an absolute bath in this thing because people are like, Android, what? But I love that principle.
I love that principle
I
too.
think we'd all like to do that.
No, because Samsung has
No.
got the better technology. It really does.
Everyone says the camera's better.
It does, but I will not go to Samsung. What does your partner think of the Apple ban?
Oh, the fact is that he has a Samsung phone, so that's all that
No, but
matters now.
You made him give it up, though.
Yes.
You made him give up his Apple.
But now he won't go back to Apple.
No, you won't let him.
No,
He just working Apple now.
But is he a bit resentful about
Yes.
the fact that you made him give it up?
No,
Yes, sure.
not at all.
He's
There's some,
No.
there's some great shows on Apple TV too that you're really missing out on, by the way.
Yeah, but Ozark was really good as well.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
Great news.
Yeah.
Fatboy Slim headed to our shores. He's playing Burswood Park Sunday the 7th of May. That's an 18-plus gig. Tickets from frontiertouring.com/Fatboy Slim. He's playing Groove in the Moo as well down south.
Yeah.
The day before. So we got the opportunity this morning.
We did.
Before the show to catch up with the legend that is Fatboy Slim.
How you doing?
Hey, Norman, how you going, mate?
Norman? Do we call you Fat Boy, Norman? I don't know.
Cookie?
When
What?
everyone's got a famous name, you don't know what to say.
My friends call me Norman.
Great, okay. So you'd like us to call you Fat Boy.
Yeah.
Just Slim.
Walked straight into that one, didn't I? Oh, it's going to be like that, is it?
Hey, firstly, before we get into it, what's all that stuff on the shelves behind you? Are they books? Are you a well-read man?
No.
Okay,
They
cool.
are CDs.
CDs.
Oh,
No.
thank God.
Yeah,
I was going to have to
CDs.
cancel it.
Yeah, they're also. I don't do books. I do CDs.
Yeah, CDs. It's called physical media
Yeah,
now.
I don't even have a CD player at my house anymore.
Well, this is kind of my archive. This is sort of a bit of my life. I'm a bit of a hoarder. I probably don't need them. And this entire collection behind me could probably fit into a memory stick this big these days. But I like them. They're like friends of mine. They're like old friends that just hang around.
Yeah, it's when streaming started and everyone got rid of their box sets of DVDs.
Yes.
It was a real sad time because, you felt like the local Blockbuster.
Yeah, no, I've still got my DVDs too.
Yeah.
In the other room, though. And the VHSs.
They're in the GD room.
I was in my storeroom the other day, Norman, and I found my VHS player, and I've still got it there. I'll keep it I'm a just in case person. I always keep things just in case.
Yeah, no, I think you're a man after my own heart. I think that's a very sensible. If you've got the room, obviously if you live in a very small flat, you might have to, sort of downstairs. But if you've got the room, hold on to it because they're rapidly becoming like museum pieces.
Yes.
and there's probably a lot of people who've got kind of important points of their life, like weddings and things, on VHS, and they'll need that VHS player one day to watch them. Then you'll be the king of the world.
Yeah,
I'll be the king of the world.
Norman, not one person ever watches their wedding film because nobody gives a rat's ass if you bring this up at any stage. Hey, come and sit down and watch this. Oh, the great memories.
Yes.
No, there's someone that's been cheated on and their partner's left them and then they watch it crying.
I was going to say, it depends if the marriage lasts longer than the format that you recorded it on.
That's true.
That's a really good point. Hey, Norman, I was speaking to a friend recently who always travels overseas, always goes to Europe, right? And he ends his his working trip always with a trip to Ibiza to wind down. Now, I said to him, how's that possible? Ibiza, that's not a wind down place. Now, you go there, I'd imagine you've been going there for 40 bloody years. That's not a wind down place, is it, surely?
Oh, it is, yeah.
Really?
It's yeah, I mean, the beauty of the island is you can wind up or wind down, and you can do that, on a daily basis. No, because the stuff that you see on the telly, that you kind of like the sort of drunken louts in the streets and the super clubs. That's kind of like 1 square mile of the island, and it's quite kind of condensed there. And the rest of the island is really quiet. And really, I mean, I go there with my family. I take my family, my kids there every year since they were born. But we stay up in the north, and it's only like 20 minutes drive. Yeah. But you're absolutely in the middle of nowhere. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of people go there for like yoga retreats and spa. And most of the island is really quiet.
Yeah. It's like Ubud and Kuta.
Well, you just don't see it, don't you? You know, Ibiza, it's just you're not sleeping. You're going absolutely mental.
The only person that we speak to really regularly about Ibiza is James Blunt, because he has a house there and he tells us, like it's a bit of a party house and he's got a bar, and I'm sure you've probably been there, haven't you?
I've bumped into him many times there. I've not been invited back to his house yet.
Celebrity rift.
Here's a few.
Clickbait, Daily Mail. Clickbait. That's pretty exciting.
Hey, Norman, I wanted to ask you about Praise You, one of your biggest hits, and in particular the film clip was one of the things that stood out of that time for,
because it was so different.
It was so different. Did you have any creative control about that? How did that come about? Because apart from the song being absolutely brilliant, but the film clip really impacted everybody.
Well, it was Spike's idea. Spike Jones liked me and wanted to work with me, so he made a little tape of him doing a stupid dance to Rockefeller Skank.
Yeah.
And he gave me a VHS of it and just said, I saw this guy dancing. And I was like, this is the kind of video we should be making. But I think he meant it, maybe he meant it as a demo, I don't know. But I just said to the record company, I want to just make that guy and just doing stupid dancing, because it just makes you laugh and it's much cheaper than trying to, And it was, for me, it was a bit of a statement against videos and that would just cost so much money, and they were just kind of glorified adverts for you and how cool you look and with big breasts and, So it was kind of a sort of statement, but it was... Spike's genius was to make it a really entertaining statement, and it was dirt cheap, but it was just had a sort of a charm to it.
Yeah,
right. So I thought you would have been there watching it, because that would have been hilarious. Because it was sort of mostly. Were you there?
For Praise You, I was there, and then I made a little cameo, and I walk into the middle at one point, and then the thing gets knocked over. No, Weapon of Choice. I was supposed to be there. I was supposed to be there, but my darling wife decided to have our firstborn son on the very weekend that they were filming. I figured I should stay at home and watch the birth of my son rather than do my cameo.
You know what? We should really do a segment where wives apologise for when they give birth and how it upset their husband's day.
Unbelievably so. Well done, though.
We really should. It's overdue. So there's so many hot artists at the moment. 3 of them are being Harry Styles, Billie Eilish, say Lizzo. Right. So if you had to do a collab between either of those, who would it be? Harry Styles, Lizzo?
Lizzo.
Isn't she amazing?
All the way. Yeah, she's fabulous. I love her.
Isn't she amazing?
Yeah, I want to have her babies. I love her.
And Norman, DJs these days are so high profile. I mean, imagine when you started, that wouldn't have been the same case. Over here, my kids and a lot of my friends are into Paul Fisher. But you watch the lifestyles flying all around the world.
Incidentally, I want to have his babies too.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah, I'm just amazing how much it's grown over time. Instead of, just seeing a singer out there, people have just gone to see DJs flat out.
Yeah. Have you got a problem with that?
No, it's just grown. So,
but you know what it is, Sean? But think about it, right? So when Norman started, DJing was hard work, you know what I mean? It was actually real records and all that sort of stuff. Nowadays, it's all just done on computers, Norman. They're all hacks, aren't they?
Yeah, we're just button pushers. Back in the day, basically in the food chain of like nightclubs, we were just above the glass collector, and got paid about the same as the glass collector. So no, it's in my career I've seen us go from we used to fight to have a monitor.
Yeah, wow.
So that we could hear what we were playing. And the club manager would go, why do you need a separate monitor in the booth? It's like, so we can hear what we're doing, so we can mix in time. And they're like, oh, God. Whereas now we get treated well, and we get riders and the trappings of style. No, it's been a lovely voyage to see. I mean, I was DJing all the way through my life, but it was never a career. It was a hobby. It's just something you did because you loved records, and it was just something to do in the evenings. But you could never make a living out of it in those days, and now we can make a very good living. So I'm not going to moan. Yeah, you see someone like Fisher, we're doing a little bit more than pushing buttons. Well, we are pushing buttons, but we're pushing emotional buttons.
What's on your rider? Like, you'd be pretty low key, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Red Bull, 6 cans of Red Bull.
Yeah.
Some fizzy water, 2 air horns, and a towel.
And I would like the door locked.
I mean, I've been around long enough. I don't drink or anything. I've been around long enough that there's no point in asking for M&Ms.
Yes.
With the green ones taken out or anything like that. So I'm a pretty cheap date when it comes to
so the air horns are just
Norm.
for you to use when you're performing. Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
I'd like to. We don't, because that's how I'd keep it real. See, because out of the many buttons that DJs can push, there's one button that goes. You've heard that button,
yes, of course.
Yes.
But I figure it's much lovelier for the crowd to actually hear a real air horn.
I'm with you,
They're pretty pokey things, and they just heighten your.
That's why they pay you the big
experience.
bucks. That is why you're the headline act.
That's right, Norman.
Yeah. I use real air horns.
Well, there you go, mate.
See the man in style. Sunday, 7th of May at Burswood Park. It's an 18-plus show. You can go to frontiertouring.com/Fatboy Slim to get tickets.
Oh, it's going to go off.
Sell out. That's going to be massive. Thank you so much for talking to us.
You're hilarious.
Thanks, Norman.
You're a legend.
Thanks for caring.
We care deep like a river.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat, and Sean.
We're discussing the butt dial or overhearing something on somebody's phone that they don't know that you can hear.
Happened on MAFS. Some boys were out talking bad things about their wives. Unfortunately, one of the guys accidentally butt dialed his wife at home, Evelyn, my new best friend. She's amazing.
And naturally, she listened in.
Naturally, I
she
listened
said.
in.
Yeah.
Good on her. We're finding out what people heard. Hi, Emma.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Good,
Emma.
What happened, Em?
So, essentially, my fiance plays for a relatively high-level football soccer team, and every week they live stream the games online so that people can watch them.
Yep.
And I was sitting there with a couple of the wags, the wives and girlfriends, and we started saying some very not nice things about some of the other girls on the team.
Emma.
Yep. My fiance watched the game back the next week with the entire team, and you could hear every single thing we said.
Oh, Emma, that is.
Yeah.
Oh, Emma.
Yep. So
Recorded.
I was under very strict instruction that wherever the camera is, I'm not allowed to be.
Oh, so what was the fallout, Em?
I didn't really hear anything from the other girls on the opposite team, but I kind of got a couple of dodgy looks. All of the wags that were sitting there, we got a couple of dodgy looks from the girls the next week.
You know what it is, though? Because when you're in it and you're having a bitch, like you're in it, you know what I mean? You don't pull any punches. You say stuff to be funny and shocking.
100%. Turns out, not funny and shocking.
What a hard lesson to learn. Thanks, Emma. Emily, hello.
Hi.
Hi, Emily.
Emily, have you got a butt dial story for us?
Boy, do I. Yeah. I had just got off a phone call with my mum, and I just throw my phone straight onto the bed.
Yep.
And my partner decided, we're just going to get a little bit frisky right now.
Yep.
I butt dialed my mum back She listened to the entire.
She didn't hang up.
Well, that's on her. Why the hell did she listen to the whole thing?
Because
or was it not that long?
okay, I'm going to say,
idea,
did your
but-
mum think someone's broken in and they're attacking my daughter and she loves it?
No, I have no idea. I was mortified, absolutely mortified. See, all we could hear once we had everything had settled, all I could hear was, "Can I help you? Hello."
Can I help you?
I was like, Mum.
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
reach
"This
through
is
the
not
phone."
doing
The appropriate response is hang up and she calls you back because then you hear the phone ringing.
Hey, Emily.
She's really concerned about you.
In the throes of passion, Emily, are we a talker? Do we say things? Do we just make a lot of...
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a milk could help with
it's
that.
Not my
it's not
finest moment.
It's not like we need milk, is it? It's other things.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Not my finest moment, not going to lie.
Well, you know what? And I have to say, I don't think it's your mum's finest moment either. I
She's
think
a
that
bit complicit in this.
there are
isn't
some
she?
things where you should hang up. Sarah's in Bassendean. Hi, Sarah.
Hi guys, how are you?
Good, Sarah.
Good, Sarah.
What
All right.
happened?
So it's happened to my husband. Everybody loves my husband. He's the nicest guy in the world. No one ever has a bad word to say about him
Yeah.
at work. Everyone loves him. And he got a complaint from head office saying that the credit lady no longer wanted to deal with him and no one could figure out what was going on. He thought it was she's gotten the wrong person. She must be misconstrued and talking about someone else.
Yes.
And then, so his boss then rang up and found out he had rang to ask for some credit to go through on an account.
Yes.
And she declined it. And then he hung up and then obviously butt dialed her and was going off to the guys in the office about how useless she was and she didn't know what she was doing. Like everything you could say, just out of frustration. She heard it all and then obviously went and told her manager.
Yeah.
And then so obviously there was a complaint about my husband and then so I made him call her and apologise.
Oh, my God. How? That must have been so awkward. How was it received?
It was so awkward. It was received okay because they had worked together for years. So like everyone loves him. And then for that,
Not everyone.
so he apologised and it was fine. Well, not everyone, but so it was fine after that. But yeah, he was mortified having to call and apologise.
That's
that's
I love how
great.
his manager didn't make him apologise.
No, you
his
did.
wife did.
But I love how the fact that he is so universally loved that he could not even think of where
I
this
know.
complaint could have come from. Like, to know that you're that loved. I know, I've never done anything wrong. Everyone loves me.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. Rebecca, hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, Rebecca.
What happened?
So I was dead butt dialer, unfortunately. I was kind of chatting to my brother's best friend, and he and I kind of got a bit close. So we decided to hang out for the night. I then went to the pub with my girls a couple of weeks later and was showing them the text messages and having a chat to them about the whole thing.
Yes. Yep.
He specifically told me not to tell anyone because obviously it's brother's best friend.
Yes.
I was spinning my phone while chatting and I accidentally butt dialed him.
Yes.
He heard the entire conversation.
Of you telling the girls.
After he told you not to tell anyone.
Specifically told me not to tell anyone.
Okay.
He heard the entire
But you just told the
thing.
girls.
Yeah, so
that'll
were
count.
you being complimentary to him?
No.
Oh.
Rebecca.
Oh, about his performance or about him?
Performance.
Oh,
Just that. Yeah. Just,
So you're going like, I finally tapped that and I won't go back again, sort of deal.
100%.
Oh, no.
Oh, Rebecca.
Beck.
Oh, that's the worst.
Oh, well, nothing lost then.
But
Oh, yeah.
why isn't it ever? Why don't you ever do this when you're saying good things about someone?
Exactly, that's right.
Oh, that's
amazing.
cringeworthy.
And how was he afterwards?
Well, he started ringing me and was like, why are you telling everyone? I just heard everything. Because so I'm outside the pub having like a conversation with him and going, oh my God. But my girls are great. They never found out. This was like a year or two ago. So my brother never found out.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sure he was
Rebecca.
like, oh, can you give me
He
another
might
go?
now.
Yeah, he might now.
Yeah, I know. This is it. Thank you, Beck. Let's go to a person we will call Claire for the purposes of this story. Hello, Claire.
Hi.
Hi, Claire.
Okay, what happened?
It's not a phone call, but it was. We had this couple with their child over for dinner, and it was a new relationship through school.
Yeah.
And it was my son's friend, and they came over. They ate. The kid was a nightmare, like right pain in the butt.
Yeah.
And then they left, and we closed the security door. My husband's like saying, "Flip that they've left."
Yes.
Yep.
That kid was a little this,
blah, 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 totally ragging him out fully. And I'm like, I don't think it's his fault. I think he's on the spectrum. How did I not see it?
Yeah.
Like, just going on.
Really
and
dissecting
on.
the child and the parents. Yep.
Really bad. My husband was brutal. He was like, yeah. And then we hear, guys, so-and-so's left his hat. Can we have it, please?
No.
So they were standing at the door listening to everything you were
waiting for a
ranting
break
about.
in the conversation so they could ask for the hat.
And then I thought, oh, my God. Well, my son's still in his class. We're in a single-stream school.
No.
I've had another 2 years and I've got one more.
How's it been, Claire? How's it been?
Glances at me, looks away, and I'm like, feel so bad. But, I do think there were issues there.
Can I just say,
maybe they've worked on it.
I can just see that family standing outside of the door wanting the hat.
I know, going,
just listening, and then slowly
do
going.
we want the hat
and then
that badly?
Waiting for a break,
and then.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.